Good morning. The images you just saw depict racism, sexism, violence towards women as acceptable, disturbing images of a child. What you haven't seen, although the press has, are videos and photos that demonstrate discrimination against members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual community and religious groups. There are thousands of them. They are not shared by your typical image of a guy in his basement. They are not in a private chat room on the internet. They are passed along between judges, including the highest court in Pennsylvania, prosecutors, defense attorneys, law enforcement, and their close friends. They're viewed on state, taxpayer-owned computers and sent over state servers, government servers, and during work hours. They demonstrate a complete lack of respect, tolerance for others, and impartiality for the public they are sworn to protect. This behavior violates the constitutions of Pennsylvania and the United States, to which these men are sworn to protect. Just as importantly, their actions potentially invade and destroy a system of justice meant to protect the civil rights of the people of Pennsylvania, not the government actors. We've reached a point in Pennsylvania where some government leaders have lost their sense of dignity, of duty, and of civility. We've stopped progressing as a society, but have regressed to the 1950s and the 1960s. The discovery of these emails gives us, the people, a unique opportunity to see the problem, hidden away for many years, address the problem, and progress as a unified Commonwealth. But progress means change. These are people who are resisting change because it means to them a loss of power or perceived superiority. It means they can no longer bully their way to the top, take care of their allies while knocking down those who aren't like them. They'll complain about and attempt to thwart the appointment of an independent special prosecutor with nonsense about my authority to appoint a special deputy as if it is the practice of law. I assure you that as the duly elected Attorney General, I can. And to the few who challenge it, including some members of my own staff, I pose a simple three-pronged question. Are you a white male? Are you or one of your buddies in this email network? Are you trying to get my job without the benefit of having to run for it and being chosen by the people of Pennsylvania? See, I believe it's the role of an independent attorney general to consistently fight for and protect the people of Pennsylvania, whether that's from child predators, drug dealers, or those who steal our fundamental civil rights. Every person has equal rights to fairness in the judicial system, in the criminal or civil courts, in the workplace, or in our government. No African American should walk into a courtroom where the judge or prosecutor or defense attorney mocks and ridicules him or her behind a closed network because of the color of his skin. No woman should go to work and be subjected to consistent treatment of disgusting indignity by women haters because they were born with one less body part, which the last I heard does not contain any extra brain cells. No citizen of this Commonwealth or this country may be subjected to discrimination or a lack of impartiality or bias by any judge or any government official because of their religion or sexual orientation. These are fundamental principles that this country was built upon. The day or the second that we as leaders and citizens stop fighting for them is the day that we all lose. Because an injustice against one is an injustice against all. Today, you may not be on the list of those that these men look down upon, but tomorrow it may be you, it may be your son, it may be your daughter, it may be your neighbor, and it may be your coworker. And to me, that is intolerable, and I will not allow it on my watch. no matter how long that watch lasts. So today, while we're all exhausted from Hategate and Porngate, this is an opportunity in the wake of adversity. The tide has turned and the attention is focused on the constitutional crisis and civil rights discriminations occurring in Pennsylvania, the fifth most populous state in the United States. The groundswell of community leaders fighting for answers has risen above the cesspool. People like Reverend Griffiths from the Black clergy, Reverend Rodney Muhammad, the president of the Philadelphia NAACP, Nina Ahmed, president of the Philadelphia chapter of NOW, Malcolm Lazin, president of Equality Forum, an LGBT rights group. There's also people like Councilwoman Cindy Bass and the women of the Philadelphia City Council, State Senator Tony Williams, and State Senator Jay Costa, leader of the Senate Democratic Caucus, and 18 of his colleagues. The Chancellor of the Philadelphia Bar Association and editorial boards all across this Commonwealth are all calling for an independent investigation. I heard your calls to action. I also join the leaders in seeking answers and action. Last week, I appointed former Maryland Attorney General Doug Gansler as a Special Deputy Attorney General to bring us these answers. He will have the sword of prosecutorial powers to do so. General Gansler brings with him an extraordinary amount of experience in investigations and prosecutions in both federal and state levels. He's been a proven leader as a district attorney, an attorney general, and the president of the bipartisan National Association of Attorneys General. General Gansler brings a straightforward, no-nonsense approach with a shared commitment to transparency. He believes, as I do, that government leaders should show dignity and respect towards the people that they serve. He will maintain an independence, which is further evidenced by the fact that he is not from Pennsylvania, but from our neighboring state of Maryland. So we can feel confident that he does not have a stake in the outcome. General Gansler served as Attorney General of Maryland for 8 years, and during that time, as I said, was elected president unanimously by NAG. He also served as the state's attorney for Montgomery County, Maryland for 8 years, where he headed the Joint Sniper Task Force that brought the Beltway snipers to justice. Prior to that, General Gansler was an assistant United States attorney for 6 years, where he prosecuted over 1,000 cases, including public corruption cases. Among his many accomplishments is that he's argued and won a 9-0 decision in the United States Supreme Court, and is an adjunct professor at American University. Mr. Gansler is a graduate of the University of Virginia Law School and graduated with honors from Yale University. Thank you for your time today. It's my pleasure to announce Attorney General Doug Gansler.
Appreciate you all coming out today. It's an honor and a privilege to be named Independent Special Prosecutor in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. My name is Doug Gansler. Behind me are the team of folks that will be working on this case from the law firm of Buckley Sandler, where I work. I will be engaged by the general, as I already have been, and then we will sign a contract where they will help investigate the tens of thousands of emails. Let me address a couple of issues that I think you might ask about up front, and I think the general addressed a couple of them as well, which is the authority of the Attorney General and Attorney General, whoever that Attorney General might be, to appoint a special investigator. Of course, that's by statute, and it's unambiguous and clear that that can be done. The issues and the questions that you might have are twofold. One, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania's deciding to sort of wade across the lines of separation of powers and, without a conviction, saying that the general's license is temporarily suspended from practicing law. Very atypical. There's an attorney general right now in Texas who's been indicted for serious charges, has not had that happen to him, and I'm unaware of that ever happening before. But it did happen here in Pennsylvania. However, the court, without a hearing, and with a couple of justices who were have been implicated in this set of events, nonetheless did that. But they did say, and specifically, that it has no bearing on her ability to remain as Attorney General. So she can do that. She can be Attorney General and certainly administer her administrative roles. The appointment of a special investigator is by definition not practicing law, because she's saying, you guys will be practicing law, I'm doing my administrative function. The second is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the State Senate, which has issued a report, which, at least in my view, it certainly would not pass constitutional muster, but in anybody's view would have some issues. In order to remove the Attorney General from office, they would have to comply with Section 4 of the Pennsylvania Constitution, which means they would have to go to the House. The House would have to go through an impeachment process. Removal is the sentence. So that after the House voted to convict, that is impeach, it would then go to the Senate, where you would need 2/3 of a majority, and then the governor would have to sign off. So the process, I think, would be, to say the least, will have difficulty surviving constitutional muster, and by the way, they haven't gone through that process yet, other than have a committee recommend that they do go through a process. And then finally, let me just say this. I haven't looked at one email. I know you can ask me anything you want about emails. I can tell you I've not seen one email from this case, and that's the point. We are independent. We will remain independent. We will not be having contact with the general. We will have a contact in her office to make sure that we can get the materials that we need, but we will go with the facts wherever they will lead us. And if crimes are uncovered, we will prosecute those crimes, or we'll refer those crimes to the appropriate body for them to take appropriate action. We have no baggage. We have no preconceived notions, other than we want to do our job and we want to do it well.